Steve Bannon, for his Real America Voice, has a field correspondent named Ben Bergquam, who regrettably, like so many Americans these days, has recently come down with COVID. And in fact, has a serious case of it, is in the hospital receiving oxygen. Now, for some right-wingers, experiencing how bad COVID can be an enlightening, eye-opening experience that provides a new perspective or empathy. He is going to go in a slightly different direction. And here's a bit of video of him talking about who he's actually angry with following getting COVID.
I've been on a ventilator, so I'm praying, thank you, Lord. My angels are with me. I absolutely know it. God wins, but the Democrats have to be held accountable. China has to be held accountable. Antifa and BLM, who terrorized our country for 4 years, have to be held accountable. Where's BLM? Where are Antifa? Where are they now? They were simply used by the Democrats to steal the election, to intimidate judges, to intimidate politicians, and to intimidate the American people to shut up and sit down. That's why we still have people in Guantanamo, DC, being terrorized right now, tortured right now. They don't care about the actual truth. They don't care about fixing the country. If they did, they would have held China accountable for this. If they did, they would have held BLM and Antifa accountable.
Okay, like with a lot of right-wingers, there's just a mishmash of a lot of different things all thrown in there. I think he's mad at Biden and China specifically for COVID because they all believe that it's like a bioweapon that China has introduced to America. And for some reason, they don't accompany that view with the belief that thus we should take it seriously and vaccinate or anything. He's also mad at BLM and anti-fascists. He wants to know where they are. Well, presumably, since they were the only ones rioting at the Capitol, they're the ones that are locked up. And yet, for some reason, he seems to think they're patriots. It's so weird. It's like this thing where like they're Antifa until they get to the prison, they shut the gate and then they become patriots. It's really weird. But anyway, I actually feel bad that he got COVID and that he's on a ventilator. That's terrible. I lost a family member to COVID. I know how terrible it is. I wish that he and others like him would learn, but I'm guessing at this point that that's not gonna happen. He put out a tweet recently saying, this is today. With everything I've gone through these last 2 weeks, I can unequivocally say, I thank God I didn't get vaccinated. He's on a ventilator with COVID. Now, I don't know for sure that if he had been vaccinated, it would have been a less serious case, but that is what all of the science tends to say. He believes that he's like, the only thing he's got going for him is that he didn't get vaccinated. Cenk, I don't know, can you make any sense of that?
Yeah, he's an idiot. There, I explained it completely. So I'm gonna say something that'll bother some people first, and then we'll get to his incredibly absurd comments. He says, since he apparently survived, God wins. So how about the nearly 800,000 people who didn't survive COVID in America? Did God not win on those? How about the 5 million dead all across the world? Did God not win on those? No, it doesn't matter. Anything that doesn't affect me doesn't exist. Yeah, God only cares about you, schmuck of the world. Okay, that's probably true. Ridiculous. And then, okay, I get it, the anti-Asian stuff. Oh, it came from China, but John makes a brilliant point. Well, if it's a bioweapon from China, why don't you defend yourself, jackass? Secondly, remember when the Republicans used to talk about personal responsibility? This idiot doesn't get vaccinated. He gets really sick because he didn't get vaccinated, just like the scientists told him, just like the doctors told him. Where does he rush to, by the way? He rushes to doctors. What happened? I thought you didn't believe in doctors. All of a sudden he's like, oh, please, doctor, save my life. Oh, all of a sudden, right? God didn't win, doctors won. You should get on your knees and thank those doctors who you called liars on your show over and over again. All 99.99% of doctors say get vaccinated, okay? And here's this jerk after having survived because of doctors that then turns around and says, no, it's Black Lives Matter that did it. Okay, which of course is the last and most salient point here. I mean, what a bunch of lunatics. He said, well, where's BLM? What the hell do they have to do with your COVID? I mean, if you asked me to find a way to blame black people for his condition, I couldn't have done it. I mean, I don't know what fantasies you have to conjure up to get there, but he got there instantly. He's like, oh, you know who's at fault for me being an idiot? Black people. All right, if you say so, brother. Okay, they're just all so deeply, stupidly racist. I can't stand them.
Yeah, I mean, there's also the note of like he's complaining about why aren't these leftists taking COVID seriously? They are. They're getting vaccinated, wearing masks, staying inside, avoiding public spaces. Like leftists are taking it seriously. I mean, unless the only leftist this person is paying attention to is like Jimmy Dore, right? Like leftists are taking COVID seriously, okay? And like when it comes to the intersection with Black Lives Matter, I know a lot of anti-racist activists who were talking about the disproportionate impact of COVID-19 on people of color in the United States of America because of the air pollution that they have to deal with because of our racism in where we put like polluting factories and like the racism in employment and the fact that a lot of people of color are doing service work that leads to more exposure to COVID-19. So like they're taking it seriously and they're organizers that have been talking about this for 2 years now. So I don't know where this guy's been.
Yeah. Well, it looks like despite doing absolutely nothing to protect against this, Ben is so far alive. Hope so. Hope gets through this totally fine. But others who share some of the same ideology recently have not. We don't have graphics for this, but Doug Kuzma, a 61-year-old podcasting conspiracy theorist, apparently caught COVID at an Alex Jones, Eric Trump, and Michael Flynn attended super spreader conference, and following 10 days in a hospital, succumbed to COVID, an absolute tragedy and a needless tragedy. Kirsten Weldon, who's a leading figure in the QAnon conspiracy theory, who says that only idiots get vaccinated, has now, as you're probably already predicting, died of COVID, another needless tragedy. Both of these are just very recently, and you can add them to a list of many, many figures in conspiracy theory circles and right-wing media and right-wing pastors as well, who have advocated for doing nothing in the face of COVID and then have actually, true believers all, given their lives for it.
Yeah, and this idiot wakes up from his ventilator and goes, "Where's BLM? Where's BLM?" No, you should have been asking, where's the vaccine? Can I pretty please get it? You moron, you're lucky you survived. I'm not sure the rest of the planet is. Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.